Look up. The night sky is going to have a very special feature this weekend. For the first time in nearly 2 years, you're going to get one of the best views of Mars. And here to explain more about it is NASA scientist Dr. Patty Boyd. It's great having you.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
So scientists, they're saying that the next few days is going to be one of the best times to go out and view Mars in years. Now, every time I hear one of these planet things, we're going to be able to see this or see that, I go outside here in Vegas, and we got the Strip. It's super bright. It's kind of tough to see. Is this going to be one of those situations? Should we get out to a darker area to catch it?
The darker the better
Yeah.
for everything in the sky. But this view of Mars, I think, should be able to cut through the Vegas glare and also
No
the full
kidding.
moon glare. So the moon is going to be close to full for the next few nights. It's also when Mars is going to be in a very great angle for us to see. So if you go outside after sunset and you look in the direction where the full moon will be rising, you'll be able to see Mars big and bright, a beautiful red-looking star.
Wow.
It's actually a planet, of course. And what's happening is that on our two orbits, we're at basically the closest that we get. And this is because the orbits aren't perfect circles. This is actually the closest that Mars has been with respect to the Earth in over a decade.
Wow.
Its apparent size changing as it gets closer and further away. It's still quite a bit smaller than the full moon, of course.
It's absolutely amazing. We were taking a look at the animation, so it seems like Earth is dead set between Mars and the Sun, which kind of just sets up for a perfect...
That's correct.
Yeah, it's nuts. Oh, I love it. So how can we see it? Should we have a telescope? Is there anything we should have other than our naked eye?
It actually looks quite beautiful just with the naked eye. You know, to go outside and look at a beautiful full moon and just to see that very beautiful red shining planet. But if you have binoculars or a telescope, you know, the more that you can amplify the image, the better. And we took advantage of the fact that the Hubble Space Telescope is orbiting the Earth to get a nice shot of the planet using Hubble. And it shows some amazing features. It shows us the polar ice caps ebbing. We see some cloud formation around an extinct volcano. You can see the desert there in the pinkish orange. We see the bedrock in the darker colors. Mars's seasons are changing, just like the Earth's seasons change, you know, from winter, spring, summer, fall. We see the same thing on Mars. And every time we have a closest approach, we can actually take a look and see what the seasons look like at that moment.
That's so incredible. I tried buying a Hubble at a Sharper Image one day. They didn't have any in stock. That Hubble Space Telescope, when did it's been, what, 2 decades now? How long has it been around?
So Hubble has actually just celebrated its 26th year on orbit in April. And it's just been an amazing discovery machine. And the reason that happened is because astronauts were actually able to visit the telescope and change out the power systems, the computers, the instruments themselves. And in 2009, the last servicing mission, Hubble was left at the peak of its scientific capabilities.
Which is incredible.
It's going strong.
I remember the missions going up to Hubble and getting it up to date and ready to go, and it's just really the stuff we've been able to get from it is incredible. And the stuff that NASA, I must come off script for a moment, the stuff that you guys are able to do with such a tiny, meager chip off of the funding block for the United States government, it is incredible what you guys are able to accomplish, and you should be incredibly proud of yourselves.
Well, thank you very much. I think the Hubble in particular has had just such a spectacularly long and productive scientific life, and we're really looking forward to being on orbit and joined by the James Webb Space Telescope, which launches in 2018. And with these two amazing, impressive telescopes, we're going to be able to really peer through star-forming regions and all the way back to the first galaxies. So it's an exciting time to be an astrophysicist.
All right, so if well, I wouldn't know that, but I'll take your word for it. I've never been an astrophysicist before. If we want to see pictures from the Hubble of images of planets and galaxies, where do we go? How can we find that? I'm sorry.
We have an enormous and amazing archive of images and information that explains what's happening at NASA.gov/Hubble. You can also follow us on Twitter at NASA_Hubble. You can find the latest Mars image and many, many more images of solar system objects, nearby star-forming regions, nearby galaxies, superclusters at the edge of the observable universe.
NASA
Everything's there.
is incredible. You guys are great. Thank you so much, Doctor.
Thank you very much. It was my pleasure.
Take a look up this weekend. The red planet going to be closest to Earth as it's been in 2 years. You don't even need a fancy telescope to do it. But if you want to see what a fancy telescope is going to see, the Hubble Space Telescope is going to capture it for you. Just head to the website on your screen for more information. Zenja, over to you.